The first two faces that I'm going to solve the outside edge pieces around are going to be the grey and the blue faces. So I'm going to I'll start with the grey face, and I've got a green edge piece here that if I do a setup move like that, I can place down into there with a edge 3 cycle on two unbandaged faces. And undo my setup move and place that one. Let's put my orange one here, and if I do a setup move to there and turn this up, I can do the same thing here to place this one. And return it and undo my setup move, and that one's placed. With my blue and grey piece, I can't do it here because I've got a bandaged face as part of my move, so if I do just a simple setup move to there, I can do it here now and cycle these three pieces around. Undo that setup move and return it. So, and the pink one is going to give me an opportunity to show you how I like to do setup moves. I like to keep them simple by, for example, turning faces that are unrelated to each other. So I'll turn this around to there and then turn up to here so that my piece needs to go in here. It's easy to see that the grey side of it needs to come down into here. This one here being up here, so that it remains uncomplicated. I'll just do a 3 cycle and bring this grey one down into here. And then another one, bring it down into here. Using all unbandaged faces. And now I can return my pink one around the bottom face and return that. That way it remains uncomplicated and simple to undo. And that leaves my grey and cream piece here next to a bandaged face. So I'll move it, I can just bring it around like that and move it into this position, for example, by turning it down into there. And returning this. And now that it's here, I can just bring my target position around like that, turn it up to receive it, and cycle these three edges around by down, down. And now I can return that and return it back around, and I've solved my grey face, or my outside edges around my grey. I'll just go ahead and do that around the blue here. Now I've just gone ahead and solved those. Sometimes I might use soon to cycle 3 edge pieces around. Sometimes I might use front up right, up back right back, front back to flip 2 edge pieces to get them into position. Things like that. Generally they're fairly easy to go around and put in. The next piece that I'm going to actually solve now is going to be I'm going to strategically solve this piece. The piece underneath, if I make the grey face the bottom face, it's the piece underneath the bandaged face. That's what I'm going to go ahead and solve next. So I'll look for, there it is here, the green and pink piece. So if I cycle its position around to there, I can put that in down this way. And cycle that back. So now that piece is done, I'm going to go ahead and solve, if my grey face is the bottom face, the next couple of pieces around on the bottom face so that all my pieces around here are going to be solved. My pink and cream piece can go into here if I just use a setup move. Return my setup move, and my orange and green pieces here. So, and again, a couple of setup moves, I can place it down here. Turn my setup moves, and that's placed. So now I've got my row down the bottom there finished. I'm going to go ahead and solve the pieces around my blue face. And I can do that by tipping that on the side, treating my blue face as an up face, and using this piece here as a piece to target all the pieces around there. I've got a blue and white piece here, so I'll pull that up to the top there, bring it around to the front, place it down in there, return my setup moves, and now bring that around and now place that. And the green and blue one is located over here, so I'll just put it down into here. So that's associated next to this path. So I'll just return that straight away. And bring it down into here. And return that. Now that I've got all my pieces around my blue solved, next I'll be solving the second layer up from these. So I'll be solving these ones around here, but there's a few that I won't be solving. I won't be solving anything on the yellow face because I'm going to leave the yellow face till last. So I'll work my way around to the next one, and that's this orange and purple one. And I've got my orange and purple piece there. Now, if I position that to go in, that'll be positioned here. So I don't want to cycle this one out because that's already placed. So I'll move it back to there and cycle that one to there. Like that. Then when I turn it back around into its original position, I can cycle that down. And that one's placed. My next one, my grey one's at the bottom, so my next one around is, like I've solved those two already, so the next one around is this one, which is green and cream, and I'll have, that's in this top layer. So if I move this position here up to there, then cycle the top around, that'll be easy to remember to undo it, and that's just a straight turn into there, and then return the top and turn that back down, and that's solved that piece. The next one is this red and cream piece, and it's all the way over here. What I like to do in this sort of situation is to do it in two steps so that I can remember what to undo more easily. If I cycle that now into this position, and then return that, that leaves it in the top layer, and I can do what I did before, where I just turn the position that I want it to turn into up into there, and turn it down into the direction that it's going to go. Return the top, and then return this. That just makes the setups a little bit easier to remember how to undo, and I don't have to strain my memory. So now I've completed all the second row pieces except for the yellow pieces, and I'll go ahead and try and solve some of these pieces. So let's put this one here in. That can actually be cycled into this position using soon, probably easier. So what I'll do is use soon across here and cycle these three pieces around. And that's placed that piece. Next one around is the green and purple piece, which is located here. Again, soon is going to be the easiest one to cycle this one into position with. So I'll just knock that in there, and that leaves me with only my white and yellow pieces that need to be cycled in. I'm going to start with my white and finish my white layer, and then finish my yellow layer after. Now I'll be using this edge piece here to insert my white pieces, and the first one that I want to insert is this red and white piece over here. So that piece is there, so I'll just turn it up into place and just check. Now it's backwards at the moment, so I can flip it. So what I'll do is front, up, right, up, back, right, back, front, back, and that's flipped it. We'll now put it up into position, bring this one around, and that will go into there. So now I can turn those back. That one's done. I'll do the next one around here, which is the green one. So I'll put that into that position. Bring this one around to check. I'm going to need to flip it as well. So I'll do it here. It'll be front, up, right, up, back, right, back, front, back, and it's there. So now when I turn around this position, that should go into there. Turn that back, and the last one is this purple one. That's ready to go into that position just like that. So place that. Now that I've got my 4 white outside edge pieces solved, my last layer will be my yellow layer, and I'll flip my yellow pieces over. So I'll perform this algorithm across with the front and right side there as unbandaged, and I'll start here where I've got one solved, and front, up, right, up, back, right, back, front, back. Move on around to my next piece, and front, up, right, up, back, right, back, front, back, and that leaves me with these two that need flipping. So front, up, right, up, back, right, back, front, back, and I've got a few pieces to cycle around with soon, like this. And now I've got 3 pieces left to cycle, so I'll cycle these 3 around. And my stars are all solved, so my inside and outside edge pieces are all fully reduced and solved. The next thing I'll do is solve my inside circle corners. I'll attach those to my edge pieces to reduce those.